gonna try this one more time. So what we do is, okay, Manny, I believe you should be on the air. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. All right. Hang tight. We're almost there. Almost there. I'm gonna lock you in. Shep, tell me you're on the air, man.
I am on the air.
And Manny's still here. Yes?
Yes, I'm still here as well.
Yes! I have conquered the machine. Yeah, baby. All right. We are all here. Sorry, I'm still getting over, man. I got this nasty, nasty bug. Last weekend my daughter graduated college on Saturday, and that went well. Sunday, I did the show. By Sunday night, I was starting to feel something coming on, and Monday morning I woke up with a headache, congestion, fever. That lasted about 2 or 3 days, and the congestion still has not um, completely gone away. I'm hoping that today's the last day. A week is a long time for me. Normally, anything, even the nastiest of things, will knock me down for a day or two, and then I'm good. But this has been painful. So apologies for the cough once in a while or the clearing of the throat. Hopefully that will be done in another day or two, and definitely won't be continuing to pester us moving forward here at the Sports Spotlight. But hey, the Sports Spotlight shines on all aspects of the sport world. And today, I wanted to call out something special being done by the athlete formerly known as the Queen of Cocodona, Rachel Entrekin. She had been demolishing the ultra marathon space for the last couple of years, right? But boy, oh boy, where she is now. So she started the 250-mile uh, ultra marathon, already being a two-time women's champion at that point, right? But she was running against the absolute elite top of the world ultra marathon male athletes, and she started to wonder, hey, you know, maybe why not me, right? Why not me? That's what every athlete's credo is. Why not me? Why not right now? And boy, oh boy, did she compete. She didn't just compete, she actually pulled away from those athletes and absolutely crushed the course record by 7 hours, beating every man and woman in that field, and providing yet another example of how these multi day races are starting to. I'm not going to say they've erased them yet, but I think they're starting to erase the gender lines in these in this event. So first off, hearty congratulations, kudos to Rachel Entrekin and what she has accomplished at this point. I started off calling her the Queen of Cocodona. At this point, she's the King of Cocodona. She beat every single one of the male athletes, and by quite a bit. So kudos to her. But what are y'all's thoughts on just, is this starting to erase the gender gap, the gender line, at least in this event?
It makes me think about the difference between the short, quick twitch stuff and the ability to endure endurance type of things.
Hmm.
And I wonder if because if it's sprints or if it's short physical activity, I don't think
That
that
gap is evident, right?
the gap is it's just you can see it before it even starts, right? From
Mhm.
the different musculature, the muscle, and all that stuff. But when it comes to endurance, it's not just cross country or long running events. One of the reasons why there's a high proportion of female pilots among B-2 bombers
Hmm.
is because they're better maintaining focus and I don't know, body chemistry for super long periods of time than men are. And there's evidence that women handle starvation better than men, or deprivation better physically than men. So if you're talking about endurance, like true endurance sports, where just like survival and like running 250, that's brutal. Like I'm like, okay, man, I ran a quarter mile, I'm good. Okay. So there's that, but there is something, and I am not caught up on the scientific journal aspect of it, but there's at least anecdotal evidence that women can handle the true endurance type of things long term probably better than men. That is my 2-minute summary of it.
Yeah. Manny, your thoughts on the accomplishment as well as what it might mean for the sport moving forward?
It's remarkable. I mean, I just can't believe the numbers. I think, did she run like 250-mile ultra marathon, right? And she did it in 56 hours.
56 hours, no sleep.
It's
No
like
break.
less than 5 minutes a mile. And most people can't even do that in 1 mile. Keep that up for 250. How does someone even think they're gonna even attempt that or start training for it? But yeah, I think to what Shep said, it's been known for quite some time that women have better pain tolerance and they're more resilient to some of this. I think it has to do with hormones as well, I believe. Obviously, based on their genetic makeup,
Body
women
chemistry,
are just able to endure not just pain, but psychologically too. I think that comes into effect. They have more tolerance. And regardless, male or female, I mean, this is just incredible just to even imagine someone could do this, but to beat all the men and to shatter
by
the record.
78 minutes.
It's crazy, man. This is probably one of the craziest stat I've ever come across.
It was. And again, we don't want to make it, I think as I was thinking about this, I didn't want to make it about the sport, about the event. It's about the athlete. Kudos to her for putting in the hard work and putting in I'm sure it's not easy training for something like this, man. And kudos to her for the mental toughness, the fortitude, and putting in the time, putting in the effort, and well deserved. And again, a hearty congratulations. And I'm definitely look. I had, before getting into this news piece, I knew on the peripherally that this thing existed. I wasn't a fan of ultra marathons, but boy, oh boy, as a sport analyst, a sport fan, I'm going to start following. I have started following these things because I want to see if this leads to a true removal of the gender lines, the gender gap. And at this point, if this is going to be a sport for anyone, regardless of gender, because of the uniqueness of just the clearing of, as Shep was saying, the quick twitch muscles that men may have built over the centuries through evolution as being the hunters. Maybe that doesn't necessarily apply to a long endeavor of endurance. And that's what this is. So definitely great stuff, and a very uplifting, a feel-good story, and just a hearty congratulations to Rachel Entrekin going out there from here at the Sports Spotlight. All right, shall we swivel the spotlight just a tad? Just a tad. We're going to stay with the women's sport, but we're going to swivel it over to the sport of softball, college softball specifically. Before we get there, I do want to tell our listeners. So tomorrow is a holiday, Memorial Day. By the way, Shep, thank you for your service. Thank you to everybody who has provided their given to this country, our services and all of that, right? So thank you to you and everybody out there. It's a big day to remember tomorrow, Memorial Day, to remember and try to be better, try to make the world better moving forward. Um, we do it in different ways. Maybe you want to spend a part of it at the Luminous Markets Eid Batak, because yes, we live in a multicultural world and there's a lot happening. So not only tomorrow Memorial Day, the day after is also Eid al Adha, which is sometimes referred to as the Bakar Eid. It's the day after the pilgrimage that's going to end over in Mecca for the Muslim world. And Luminous Market is presenting Texas's biggest cultural festival. Yes, it's going to be a grand celebration of culture, creativity, and community. Eid Batak brings together over 100 vendors from across North America and Canada, making it one of the largest South Asian lifestyle festivals to take place here in Texas. Monday, May 25th, Memorial Day, 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Frisco Flyers, and close the night with a power-packed live performance by Ali Heather. Yes, that Ali Heather. The concert begins at 6 p.m. Tickets are available at Eventbrite. For all information, you can call 972-971-2206 or 817-647-5827, or lastly, 732-789-3347. All right, with that, let's fully swivel the spotlight over to the world of softball. And man, oh man, we are at the Super Regionals time, aren't we? Shep, how are we feeling about the SEC and them
I mean, the SEC
representing?
it's been incredible what the women's softball teams are doing.
It's the
Right?
SEC Super Regionals, right?
I mean, was it nine of them?
9 out of 16. 9 out of 16.
And I'll have to look and see how many of them have already advanced, because it's a lot.
Yeah.
If you look, so Alabama's in, right? Arkansas is in. UCLA has advanced, so you got
UCLA beat UCF, right?
Nebraska from the Big Ten is in. And then today you've got
Oof,
Florida, Texas Tech, Mississippi State, Oklahoma, Arizona State, Texas.
man.
You've got basically 3 SEC Big 12 matchups today.
Yeah. So, yeah. So think about this. We talked about 9. Texas is still nebulous. Let's leave that off. Mississippi State is nebulous, but that's going to be an SEC team regardless between Mississippi State and Oklahoma. But out of the 16, the final 16 have 9 teams. Obviously, half of these are going to advance to make the 8 World Series teams. Arkansas is already one of those 8. Tennessee is already one of those 8, with a guaranteed SEC team between Oklahoma and Mississippi State, and Alabama is in. So 4 of the 8 are going to be the SEC, like guaranteed to be SEC teams. And it's very possible Florida beats Texas Tech. They're the higher ranked team. And Texas beats Arizona State. They're the much higher ranked. They're the 1 versus the 5
Yeah,
there.
Texas is certainly the favorite there.
So 4 guaranteed, probably 5, maybe 6 of the 8 World Series teams are going to be the SEC, from the SEC. Just absolute dominance of a sport here in the world of softball. Whew. Manny, I know, Shep and I being SEC guys, you don't really have a dog in the fight unless you want to back Nebraska for your. I mean, that was unfortunate. Nebraska and Oklahoma State ended up going up against each other. So, any thoughts from your side about what we're seeing in the world of softball and what you see happening in these games coming up, especially Texas, Arizona State, and Mississippi State and Oklahoma that Shep and I are definitely going to get into in a minute. But your thoughts on what has transpired in the world of softball so far, Manny?
Yeah, no, it's been crazy. Just catching the highlights. I haven't been following the sport as much.
No hitter by Mississippi State.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely exciting. If I was going to one of the schools that's in the game, I'd certainly be following it closer. I know you guys today have a pretty tough matchup, right, against Oklahoma,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe it's in Norman, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
And Mississippi State, I mean, I believe they're not seeded, right? They're ranked nationally, so to get this far has already been quite a season, but certainly a lot of expectations. But the other matchup I'm really looking for is the one against Texas. I think Texas won the championship last year, so they're defending champs. They should have an easy time in Austin, of all places, against Arizona State. But Arizona State has looked really good at times based on their record. So I think that'll be a game I'll be interested to see if Texas can advance.
Yeah, Arizona State has really surprised me with their pitching dominance over Texas. I did not. I thought this was going to be a 2-0 Texas win, and if Arizona made a game of it, it would be because they could hit Texas a little bit. I did not think that their pitching would be able to hold Texas down to a single run, winning that first one 4-1, and then even the second one. I mean, Texas eked it out at 4-3, so they'll have their hands full today. And Arizona State has really, really shown that they can keep it a low-scoring struggle. And in the game of softball, man, when you can keep the bats at bay, in those low-scoring grind-out games, anything can happen with a couple of hits put together, right? So I think Texas will have their hands full. They should win, but they should have already completed this series, and they haven't. And that's a testament to Arizona State having come to play. So Texas cannot take this lightly. They've got to make sure that they understand this is win or go home. I know it seems cliche, it seems pretty straightforward, but man, oh man, yeah. So on the other side, let's talk Mississippi State and Oklahoma. So what did you see? Look, Oklahoma is a 1 seed for a reason. They've been dominant all season, but what did you see, Shep, with Mississippi State opening up the series with that 11-9 victory, putting up 11 runs on this Oklahoma team? What did you see, and do we have a chance today?
To me about softball is the lack of stress on the pitcher's arms compared to baseball, right? Because they can throw out the same pitcher, not necessarily back to back very often,
but the next day
with 1 day rest.
Yeah,
right. And that changes the calculus. When you have a dominant pitcher, you can just pitch them in games of 1 and 3. But game 1 was not a pitcher's duel. I mean, 11-9 is just bats alive. And look, the odds are overwhelming that Oklahoma's depth, history, all that other stuff is going to overwhelm us, and they are going to move on.
But it's a 1-game playoff.
But it's a 1-game playoff, right? So I'm paying attention, and I'm hoping for the best. But Oklahoma is the flagship program of the sport.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if you had to pick one, it would be Oklahoma. And having Oklahoma and Texas now in the SEC has made the SEC, who was already a good league, the dominant league for softball. And I think league number 2 would be the Big 12. Right?
Yeah.
I think. And then that's not a knock on the Big 12. It's just the SEC's now got 2 behemoths standing across the continent in Texas and Oklahoma. But I don't know. I don't think that State's bats are going to be able to score enough to win the game.
Yeah, I think if State's going to win today, it's going to have to be on the strength of pitching. It's going to have to be a phenomenal pitching performance, holding the Oklahoma bats at bay, and eking out a 3-2, a 4-3 victory. Otherwise, I don't give State much of a chance. But hey, don't want to. Regardless, even if they lose, it's a remarkable accomplishment what they've done so far, advancing to one of the final 16 best teams in the nation. Right. So kudos to them. However it goes, but I'm hoping that they can get over Oklahoma and get into the World Series, and then it will be just this restarting again, because the World Series, anything can happen. Once you're in, all you got to do is get in.
Yep.
And we'll see. So right now, big games ahead of us, both for Mississippi State, Oklahoma, as well as um, the Texas, Arizona. And I completely forgot about the Florida Texas Tech as well. So they're tying. They're sitting at tied at 1-1, and they've got a legit shot being the second seed over the third Texas Tech that has advanced this far. Um, this is definitely a bats alive series. That first game, Texas Tech beat Florida 10-8, and then Florida beat Texas Tech 10-2. So Florida's bats are alive. I mean, they're averaging nine runs a game, right? So it's going to be up to Texas Tech to keep up with them. I think this is going to be Florida is going to score enough runs in this one. Texas Tech is going to have to keep up and try to outscore them. This isn't going to be a 3-2 eke out game. This is going to be score 7 or more to win. Otherwise, you're going home. Your season's over. So we'll see how all of these games turn out, and then what we'll do is when we get back from this break coming up in about 90 seconds, we'll swivel the spotlight over to the game of college baseball, because there is quite a bit of good stuff going on over there as well. How much time do we have? You know what? I'm gonna
2 minutes.
yeah, I've got it's approaching 10:59 already. So real quick, why don't we tell our listeners about where are we? Yes, Amir and Huma Adnan. Yes. Visit Huma Adnan and Amir Adnan today at 3031 Preston Road, Unit 600 in the Stonebriar Center, Frisco, for their Eid specials. That's coming up today. And I think with that, we're going to go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about college baseball and all the excitement going on there. We're going to transition from that into the NBA playoffs, which are starting to approach their exciting conclusion, but not there yet. There's still a lot more excitement to go. And boy, oh boy, those Knicks. We're going to be talking about them. Are they the team of destiny? We'll be getting into that starting at 11:15. Here we go. Here's a short break. We'll be right back with more Sports Spotlight right here on Radio Azad.
You are listening to Radio Azad on
KDXX
107.9 FM
HD4